let's get real.
Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Real Talk with Menashe. I am your host, Menashe Chinyanganya. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm good. You can't tell because I have this light on right now, but my overhead light is not turning on. But I need to cut clips. I'm trying to be a lot better about posting clips of the podcast, and so I don't want to just be audio, but my overhead light doesn't really get it. So, it's fine. We're making it work. You can see me just fine. But yeah, that's going on. I don't know, guys. I'm wearing my Panthers shirt because yesterday the Panthers won. The Florida Panthers hockey, by the way. I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but I did go to my first hockey game, Florida Panthers, this season. So I don't know, first hockey game I go to, they win the Stanley Cup. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying these are both facts. They won the Stanley Cup yesterday. I also went to my first hockey game in the same season. Is it good luck? You tell me. But they did win yesterday. Was I following the series? I wasn't watching the games per se, but let me tell you how it went down. So Florida Panthers played a team that I believe is called Edmonton. I might be saying it completely wrong, but it is a Canadian team. Okay. It takes 4 to win the series. I don't know if it's called a series, the tournament. I don't know, but it takes 4 games to win. Okay. Florida Panthers win the first 3 games, 3-0. Okay. Then Edmonton wins 1 game. Okay. So they got tired. Fine. They wanted to lose a game. That's fine. They still have 3 games. They need 1 more game to win. Why did they lose game 4, game 5, and game 6? So now yesterday was game 7, and now it's for the cup because you decided, Florida Panthers, to wait until the last possible second to win the whole thing. I personally wouldn't have put it all on the line like that. That's really risky business. I don't care how tired I am. I'd just be let's just get it done. But for whatever reason, they wanted to wait. That's fine. I don't even know if they necessarily wanted to wait. Maybe Edmonton was really just playing better. I did not watch. But I was going to be really, really embarrassed if Florida Panthers won, because how do you go from a 3-0 lead to losing the whole thing? But they pulled it out in the final game and they won the whole thing. So congratulations to the Florida Panthers. I just thought that, I've only worn this shirt one time when I went to the game, so I'll just pull it out today and rep them. Happy for them, happy for me because I live in Florida, so, go team. Moving along, if you're not aware, which how could you not be aware, you guys, the Olympics is in a month. And y'all know me and how I am about sports. I will be talking about the Olympics a lot here and there. I love watching the Olympics. I love, what are my favorite events? I don't even know where to start. Simone Biles, gymnastics. I love watching gymnastics. It's so fun. I love watching competitive swimming. I love watching, track and field. Sha'Carri Richardson's guys, I'm so excited. I just love watching sports. It's just so fun to me, and it's gonna be a good time. But that being said, okay, I don't know if you guys have been following this, but the Olympics are gonna be in Paris, right? The president there, I don't know, the Seine River, okay, where all the outdoor swimming events are supposed to happen, is disgusting. It looks vile, right? And apparently that's where all the water sports are supposed to be happening, and they put all this money into making it better, clearer, safer for the athletes to do their thing. But I don't know. I guess the French people are upset. I don't exactly know what they're upset about. Maybe because they didn't care about it until the Olympics. Maybe there's other things. But that being said, they were all planning to poop in the Seine River. They were planning a little poop off, and they were all going to poop at different locations so that it was in the Seine River by the time. I don't know, guys. It was crazy. And then the French president was planning to swim in it to prove to everyone that it is safe to swim in. And then he kind of was wait, I can't do that yet. Here's my thing. Okay, here's where I'm at with it. I don't even care about the hoopla. If I was an athlete from any country that had an outdoor swimming event, what are you guys thinking right now? Because if it was me, I'm not getting in that water. The French are showing what the water looks like, okay? The Parisians are showing it, and honey, it's not looking cute. You couldn't get me in there. They're gonna need to I don't know, broadcast it from somewhere else. Because I don't know, the Olympics are in a month. It's in a month. I just don't get how you're gonna get the dirty, murky water in good condition for athletes to be in there in 1 month. I don't know. I could be wrong. they'll have to figure it out. It's not my job. But at the same time, I'm just a little like, ooh, like a little level of concern. But it's also really funny. Like, I'm intrigued to see how it's going to work out. And if you're an athlete that's, going to be out there in the water, best of luck to you. Make sure that you're up to date with all your shots because you're going to need them. Last but certainly not least, for some of the things I've seen that I want to talk about before I get to my main topic, did you guys know that my besties, Joe and Donald, are debating this Thursday? Like, they are debating. They're having like a presidential debate. And I believe that this is different because although the election is later this year, they normally don't debate this early on. So I think this is like unusual circumstances, but like, I don't know. I'm like so excited. I don't know if I've spoken about this before or if I've only spoken about it with like friends, but like, I'm so excited for the debates. Like, I'm treating the debates like a fun night of television. Like, where are my snacks? Why? Because there's a level of comedy to this that like I just feel like should not be overlooked. Like, yes, like let's hear what the people have to say and like let's make informed decisions when we vote. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm here for that. But that being said, like, we can't pretend like this isn't going to be funny. Like, I want it to be funny because I feel like politics can get so just like dramatic and stuff that there's just a little level of like, I don't know, comedy to it that I truly appreciate. And one thing about me, I love to laugh. Like, I love to laugh. So I'm hoping that this debate gives me an opportunity to laugh. Now, there are some things that might hinder my laughter. Apparently, when like one is speaking, the other person's mic will be off. And so that's a bit of a hindrance, not loving that. But I don't know. Either way, I'm still so intrigued to watch it and see what we get out of that. And so I didn't know about it today. I didn't know about it until today, but it's happening on Thursday, so I will definitely be tuning in for that. So for today's main topic, I wanted to talk about change. Why change can be so hard, but why it's also so important. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because I personally feel like I'm in a season of my life where I'm going through change, and it's hard. I don't know about you guys. Some people are a lot better with change than others. I personally have always been someone who really liked a pattern, liked things the way they were, got comfortable in that, and was able to stay in that. And change has been hard for me. Like, change is not something that comes easy to me. I know for some people it comes a lot easier. I feel like my sister, she might think differently, but I think she deals with change a lot better than I do. And some people, have their reasons for why. I don't know why, but I think that's just how I am. But that being said, like, change is inevitable, and it's something that we all go through at different times in our life for a whole bunch of different reasons. And it's just something that, as hard as it may be, is something that we should embrace. Change can be super hard because essentially you're breaking a pattern that you've become accustomed to, that you're used to, whether it's maybe a job that you've had or habits that aren't good for you. Like, whatever the situation is, you're just so used to doing it that one way or going to that place or doing that thing that breaking that is hard. It's not as easy as people make it out to be sometimes. I don't think anyway. Like, sometimes change can be easy, but a lot of the time when you're used to something, even if it's something isn't good for you, it can still be hard to make that change and decide that, it's time for me to do something else, despite the fact that this feels really comfortable to me. The thing is, with change comes uncertainty. Like, you don't always get an answer like, will this decision be better for me or worse for me? And so that's can be the really scary part about change. Sometimes changes are easy to make and other times they're harder, but I think that's where faith comes in, because you have to believe that there's better waiting for you on the other side of change. It can be easier said than done, but I think that's a way to refocus it and think about it in a positive light, because change can be so difficult to do, and especially when you don't know what the outcome's going to be. But you wouldn't have to have faith if you knew what the outcome was. That's where faith kicks in, because you don't know what the outcome is, but you're brave enough to take that step and know that you deserve better, or that it's time for more, whatever the situation may be. And so you kind of just have to step out in faith and believe that there's better for you on the other side, and be okay with leaving what's behind you. The other thing is that change is really uncomfortable. Like, change does not feel good a lot of the time, but it's also it needs to be uncomfortable, like, because with the uncomfortability comes the growth. So it goes hand in hand, but change can be really uncomfortable. And I think that's why it can be so difficult to do, because if it was like comfortable, then no one would have an issue doing it. But I don't know. In my life, I feel like I felt very uncomfortable in change sometimes, but I knew that it was necessary. And I feel like when it comes to changes in life, there's like three different ways that change can happen. Sometimes change is inevitable. Like, for instance, if you graduate high school or you graduate college, you know that you only have 4 years, 6 years, however long you're in school before you're moving on to that next thing. You know, change, like even in the back of your mind when you go in freshman year, you know, like eventually I'm going to graduate. This is a limited time thing, right? So although you may want to be in high school forever or college, you can't, right? So you kind of just take everything you can get in that season, and then, you know, you wrap it up, as sad as it may be, but you know that better's coming. You know it's time for that next step. That's one way that like change is inevitable. Another way is when change kind of randomly happens and you have to adapt. Sometimes you really have absolutely no say in changes in your life, but you're just kind of forced to adapt. That's probably my least favorite one, but it happens, you know, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. That's another way that change comes in. And then another way is you start to feel so uncomfortable in whatever situation you're in that you're forcing yourself to change because you already feel uncomfortable. And I personally don't believe in coincidences. So I feel that I start to feel uncomfortable in something that I might have felt comfortable in for like 1-2 years, however long it was, but I start to randomly feel uncomfortable. I don't think it's like random. I think that it's just a way of me being like, okay, like it's time for change, right? Because we all are evolving. So something that might have worked really well for you for a season may no longer fit the life that you're working towards or the season that you're in. Like it might have just expired. So you start to feel uncomfortable in situations that used to be very comfortable, and that's a huge signal that, you know, it's time for change. And I feel like out of the three changes that I just described, the one that I'm feeling the most is like the uncomfortability. I feel like there's certain things in my life where I feel uncomfortable, not crazy uncomfortable, but things that just used to be so smooth like aren't anymore. And in my life, like with all the goals and dreams and stuff that I have, I'm just like, you know, and also the older I get, I'm just realizing that, you know what, like I think change is coming. And I don't necessarily know what like that change means. Sometimes you don't know what it is, but I think it's just me more preparing myself for change and allowing the change to come instead of being like, no, like I'm comfortable, I don't want to move. That's how you stay stagnant and how you just, you know, life just passes you by because you're so what's the word? You're being so difficult that you won't allow yourself to just fully accept the fact that like you're in a new season of life, you know, this doesn't work for you anymore. And so you get stuck and you get caught up and you end up being more miserable that way. Like, yes, it's comfortable, but if you start to feel uncomfortable or you start to feel like you don't fit anymore, like that's when like life gets a lot harder. But if you accept like, okay, like it might be difficult for change, but I know it's time, and you open yourself up to that, that's when change becomes a bit easier to deal with and manage. And then you look back and you're like, oh my goodness, like this wasn't so bad. Ultimately, change most of the time, not always, but at least the change I'm speaking of is a good thing. And it's not something that we should try to fight because honestly, it's like the biggest waste of your time. It's something that we should embrace, and embracing it just makes the whole process easier. And for me, I personally, like I rely on the Lord a lot because I don't always know how things are going to pan out, but I believe the Lord has a plan for my life that, you know, allows me to just, even in the midst of being uncomfortable in change or not even wanting the change or whatever it is, just being like, okay, like I know the Lord has a plan for my life, and just kind of having peace in that. And the way I see it too is like when we're going through something and we're going through change, we're just seeing what's in front of us. But I believe like, you know, the Lord sees the full picture. Like he's looking above and he sees like, okay, if Menashe could just get over the fact that like this and this is changing, she has no idea all the amazing, wonderful things that are on the other side of this. But me going through it, not wanting to necessarily deal with it or accept that change is happening, I can sometimes make it harder for myself. Just know ultimately like you're going to be okay. If you haven't heard it from anybody, let me be the one to say, you're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Change happens. It's not always easy, but we're all evolving and we all have amazing like purposes on this earth, and we're just going to be okay. It's all going to work out. And although change might not be easy, it's important. And so in this season of my life, I'm feeling the change. And so I think that's something I wanted to talk about because, you know, I felt it before, and I can look back in my life too and be like, I was being so difficult and I really didn't want X, Y, and Z to change. But I look back now and I'm like, thank God, like, thank God it did, because I had no idea the people I would meet, the blessings that I would have, the life I would live if I was still trying to do, you know, what old Menashe wanted to do, you know? So that's my take on change and how it can be difficult, but how it's important for evolution, your growth in life, and just, you know, living out the life you're meant to live. You're not always going to know what comes next in life, but you have to be open to the possibilities of what change can bring, and also believe that there's just better on the other side. So that's my main topic for today, just talking about change. It's the season of life that I'm in, and hopefully you could relate to what I was saying, and like hopefully you got something from it. But that being said, I wish you guys an amazing week. I cannot wait for the debate. I cannot wait. This summer is going to be so fun. I feel like there's so many like events going on that I just can't wait to talk about it all, you know? But I wish you guys an amazing week. I never know how to end these things. Have fun. Do something crazy. Not too crazy, but have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Let's get real.